Alright, as you can see, we're tearing down the wall of tools, man. I hate to see that wall of tools go because I can't take this with me. I'm going to have to build a new one. Put a lot of work into that, but it's alright. We can get another one. This is some nice wood right here, though. This is all ash. Good stuff. Got Boxo tools here. Yep. The move has begun. So I'll film a little bit as we go and, try to keep everybody in the loop. This is the most exciting thing to watch, but, it's kind of history for me. It's history of worth. Maybe someday somebody will look back and go, man, I remember a video of that guy when he was packing up his shop. And now look where he is. I don't know where I'll be when they say that, but we'll find out. All right. You guys stick around, man. I'm going to pack up some more, all right? Hey, guys. Welcome back to the shop. It's a little chilly out here this morning. That's all right. I got the little heater going, and life is good. The sun is shining, semi-shining, but the sun is up, so that's a good thing. Before I get started on today's video, I'd just like to say thank you again for all the subscribers to the video channel. 125 strong now. I sure do appreciate that. And also, I would like to mention a couple other things. I went and saw a band last night, a couple of bands last night. I saw a great local band called Just Standing. Just an exceptionally good young rock group, man. They're coming up. They're going to be amazing in the future. They're amazing now. Very good. Of course, Crunch always kicking ass. And Poor Vita, another one of my very favorite local bands, Poor Vita, because they just bring it super hard. Badasses that they are. I love that hard stuff. I don't know why. I just like it crunching, you know what I'm saying? I like it kicking. I like all kinds of music, but I really do like the hard stuff for some reason. But anyway, I saw a lot of good friends, a lot of people. It was good to see everybody, and a lot of people that I don't necessarily know came up. They saw the hat. They recognized Worth Guitars, and they had a lot of great things to say, and I very much appreciate that. Hey, man, if you see me out there and I'm wandering around and you see the hat, come on up and say, hey, I love to talk about guitars, or I love to talk in general for most of the time. So just, give me a shout if you see me and you want to talk, or you just want to say, hey, please don't be shy. Please don't be shy to leave comments on the videos. I love to talk about guitars. I love to try and, spread the word about Worth, obviously. So today, and my wife, my beautiful wife, won $120 last night at one of those little video things. I personally don't do those. I don't get the whole gambling thing. Some people are into it. I don't even bet on football games. I just don't do it. I don't understand it. But that's my own weirdness, and I'll keep that to myself in the future, I promise. Probably not, but I'll try. All right? Okay. So that's all I got to say about that. Today, remember the last video, I told you we were getting ready. Well, I showed you we were getting ready to glue together these tops. The top and the bottom for the G-style guitar we got coming up for a good friend of mine. I got it glued up. I was going to show you, the planing process and everything. That jumped out of my head and I ended the video without doing it. So needless to say, I ran these through the planer, and you probably know what that's about anyway, so it's not super exciting. You didn't miss much. So I ran these boards through the planer down to their almost finished thickness. There's still a little bit more to take off, and I'm going to do that in the sander so I can get it nice and flat. And hang on one second here. There's a dryer over there in the corner in my shop, which always has irritated me, but it has to be there because somebody's got to dry the clothes. We're getting ready to take care of that issue, though. And it's not like it's an issue or anything, but it makes the noise in the background. So where was that? Oh, yeah. Tops. So we got this piece glued together. Let me show you what it looks like. Let me move these snaps out of the way. Hey, but I'm just going to put them where they go instead of having to move them again. They go over there, out of the way. Clamp storage facility behind the joiner. So, you saw the two pieces of mahogany being what I call facing on the CNC yesterday. And then I glued them together. I actually used the CNC, hang on, I'm grabbing a chisel. I actually used the CNC to make the joint in the board also. It makes a really nice glue joint, and I did that. Let me get this little bit of glue cleaned off and show you this beautiful chisel. Look at this cool chisel I got at a yard sale. This is a very cool chisel, great steel, holds an edge like crazy. It needs a little buffing up, but it was made by the the Weldon Produce Company? The Wellman Produce Company in Cleveland, Ohio. Odd. Wellman Produce Company. Or maybe it's production company, I don't know. Cleveland, Ohio. Go Cleveland. All right. Actually, just the handle was made there. Or maybe it was made for them. But just the handle, because it's a Buck Brothers steel chisel. Anyway, great chisel. One of my good friends. That chisel there. Okay, so getting back to this board. Here it is. Glued together. Ignore that, that'll be sanded out. That is my base for the guitar, and we'll put the maple cap on top. Nice chunk of wood there, got that glued together. Okay, so that's where we're at on it. And we have the top over here on the CNC. I'll move you over closer, you can see I'll take it back off. And we'll see what that looks like. All right, hold on. Take the cover sheet off. Always use a cover sheet. If you don't use a cover sheet on your boards like these, flat boards like this, all of the atmosphere in the room, the moisture, the humidity, or the lack thereof is going to affect one side of the board much greater than it does the other side of the board. And that's what causes it to cup and move. Keep a cover sheet on it, especially after it's freshly milled, because you want it to stay just like it was when you left it. If you come back the next day and it's cupped or warped, it's because you didn't have a cover sheet on it. All right, we'll get this board off of here. This particular piece of wood, it's got a little bit of a bow in it, and I can deal with that. A little bit of a bow, meaning that the board, let me see if I can illustrate that to you. Hold on one second. The board, it's got this, a little bit of this action in it. A bow, you know, like that. That's it. That's a little exaggerated. Whereas this would be a cup. You know, if you were looking at thickness, width, and length, okay, and that would be twist, like that. One side higher, one side lower. Okay, you know, you probably know that already, though, right? All right. Anyway. A slight bow is okay because I can glue it opposing to the board beneath it, and the board beneath it is stronger and it's going to hold it down because it's an excellent glue joint. When you have that much glue surface, it's not coming back apart unless you starved the glue or didn't put enough glue on it or whatever, or didn't clamp it properly. But we'll put plenty of glue on there and we'll put it in a vacuum bag and it'll stay there. It'll never come apart unless you chip it off little by little with a chisel. Pull that back off. And this is something that we can glue together today. If I can get the tape off. There we go. I got a little carried away with the CA glue, I think. And then I clamped it with those screws, and now the blue tape has become one with the wood. Oh man, what a hassle. What a hassle, dude. Alright, that's pretty good for the moment. So, the reason it's over here is I just got done putting this joint down the center. Take a 1/2 inch router bit, a really super sharp one. Put 3/8 of space in between the two boards that you want to join together. Run that 1/2 inch router bit right straight down the center of those two boards. And you get a joint that's light tight. Hold on. Light tight. You see that? All I gotta do now is line this grain up and clamp it together. This is good to go. Cut it to its final dimensions and put it on top of that piece of mahogany right there. Glue that together, laminate it in the vacuum bag. So today, this is just a quick video. Today I'm just gonna glue that together and a couple other little minor things. I'll show you where the green back is. The Celine that we did a little touch up on the lacquer there. We got to do a little something to it this morning. I left the lid off of my lacquer and it dried out again, so I'm kind of juicing it a little and we'll get it right. And then we'll do that, okay? So let me reposition everything. But that's where we're at today in the shop. And we're rocking and rolling, okay? Hang on, let's move this camera again. Remember in the last video I was telling you about you can leave lacquer as a blob. It's just dried. Not really dried, but it's a little sticky blob in the bottom of this cup. I use one of these in about 2 squirts and it'll just come right back to life, man. That's a cool thing for repairing lacquer. You can also do cool stuff like you can take flat silicone. Like I buy sheets of flat, no, it's not silicone, it's Teflon from StuMac. And I don't know where it is at the moment, or I would show it to you. But anyway, it's a flat, square piece of Teflon, very thin. And you can cut off pieces for when you're doing refret jobs on old guitars and you've pulled up a little of the rosewood and you need to repair the area on either side of the frets. And you can put this Teflon down inside. It's exactly the same thickness, 0.023 as a fret slot, and it won't stick, glue won't stick to it. So actually nothing really will stick to it. So you can take and put a few drops of lacquer, colored lacquer, especially if you do, say, a red guitar or blue guitar, purple guitar, whatever, green guitar. You can actually put drops of lacquer on this sheet of Teflon and let it spread out and let it dry, and you can pull up a little sheet of lacquer. And you can store it, you can keep it, you know, and you can use it also with clear for like when you want to lay a pretty good chunk of lacquer down on top of something if it has a big dent in it or a big scratch. And you can just take that and pull it off and put it in place and just add a little bit of lacquer thinner to it at a time, and it'll start to soften and spread out and fill in areas that are damaged, badly damaged. Kind of like a lacquer stick. This would be a lacquer stick. This is actually just a chunk of lacquer. And you heat this up, you need to have a gas, like a torch to heat it up with. If you use a butane lighter or anything, it'll just burn it. So it has to be very clean burning, very hot. You get it hot and burn it in. Or you use a burn-in tool. Okay, so, yeah, so that's how I do that. Just a couple of drops of lacquer in there, lacquer thinner. Pull that up on there like that. We'll reconstitute that. We'll come back to it. All right. But in the meantime, let's glue this together first while this is doing this thing over here. Coming back to life. So what we need to do is we need to figure out how to make this grain line up as best as we can. I think it's right there, like that. And that looks good. So I'm going to glue that together just like that. And what you want to do, once you get something figured like that, and you got the grain lined up where you want it to go, a simple thing to do to make sure you don't mess it up is to take a straight edge, hold it down, put a couple of marks across it like this, and letter it A to A or B to B, whatever letter turns you on, and that way you know when you put it back together, if you have to come back to it a couple days later or something, those two A's always are facing the correct way, and your little lines will help you register things back together. Does that make sense to you? I think it does. Okay, let me get some clamps together. Let's do this. Let's put these boards in these clamps, my good old trusty pipe clamps. And just to check the joint, this is dry, hasn't been glued together yet. Always do a dry fit with your joints. Make sure they fit together before you put glue all over them, and then have to come back the next day and cut them apart because you got a bad glue joint. So now we know this is good. We're gonna go ahead and put some glue on it and get it right and set this aside. This will dry in the next few hours. We'll just sit in here a few hours and then we can take it out. And because we're gonna laminate it onto another piece, we'll be good to go. We don't have to wait till like overnight to let this sit in clamps. A couple hours in some warm temperatures and it'll set right up. But there's a little bit of bow in one of the pieces, like I told you. So we got to finagle that joint a little, but I think we got it under control. I think it'll be good. Trying to make sure I got it the way I like it. I believe this is just about as good as it gets right there. All right, we're gonna go for it. We'll get a couple of paper towels, you know, to clean up with and stuff, and then we'll be ready to do it. My little clicker thing died on me, man. So uncool. Hold on, we're crooked. Oh, up. There we go. That's nice. That's nice, isn't it? Isn't that nice to feel like you're level? All right, let's do this. We're gonna glue this top together. This is it. Dun, 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 dun. Theme music. Clue the theme music. These joints look good. Just double check, make sure no weirdness is happening here, other than my weirdness. All right, nice clean little blob of glue across here. Boom. Little tubes of glue, and the patented glue application device, the index finger. A couple of dabs across there to spread it out, like so. Get that spread out nice and even. Everybody gets some love. Everybody gets a little taste and whatnot. All right, that's all we need right there. But I'm gonna do both sides just because I don't want this board to feel left out. You want your boards to feel equally loved and balanced. Balance is important. Okay, like that. Pull that over that way. Clean the glue off your finger. Now, because this board, this half of that board, has got the old bow in it, what we're going to do is we're going to start on one end and work our way down and try to, I want to get my grain lined up as best as I can. We're going to start on this end, and we're going to try to manipulate that board up a little here in the middle and put a clamp on it right there, in the middle here. Excess moisture off. Put a clamp across the center. I always need a clamp across the center. Clamps on bottom, clamps on top. All on the bottom, you're pulling like this and it goes, bow, and pops out of there, right? probably know that already. All right, we'll pull that back up. There, that's flush. On this end, we can tighten that down good. Now we'll tighten this one down right here. And then we can push this back down over here to make this area flush. Pull up a little there. Try to make this as flush as possible. It's a little tough, but we can do it. Put a little manpower into it. Like that. Make sure everything's sitting flat. Okay, that looks good. And because I left this board slightly thick, we can rip it to its final width and send it through the sander and bring it back down to its finished dimension. Always work from thick to, from big to small. And that allows you to have discrepancies in your glue joints in this particular phase here. If it's off just a little, a 32nd of an inch, 64th of an inch here and there, you run it through the sander, that smooths all that out. So I think we're good. We're good there on the base. So we got the body parts, top cap, bottom. I'll get these glued together and then it's on, man. We can start doing some machining. I'll write some tool paths for the pickup cavities, the neck pocket, the control cavities and all that stuff. And I think on this particular guitar, because I have to be very careful about where I transition from maple to mahogany, I'll probably do that part by hand. Because I want the bevel to stop right at the edge of the maple. And I'll show you what I'm talking about when we start doing that. We're going to stain all this the same color, but the mahogany and the maple are going to take the stain two different ways. And I want to be able to make sure that the maple is right on the edge of the bevel all the way around. So it's a nice clean change from maple to mahogany. And you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. We're getting there now. We're rolling. Like I said in the last video, we're rolling like a freight train, like a 57 Cadillac. 57 Cadillac, man. What a beautiful car, Good stuff. I think that's all I got for you today, guys. I was going to do the green machine touch-up, and I think I'm just going to wait on that, and I'll show you that on another video. Okay? For now, I'm just going to go ahead and say, I hope you guys have a great Sunday. This is it for today. Peace, everybody. Please be good to each other out there. I hope your life is treating you well. I hope the world is being good to you out there, and I hope you're being good to other people out there. That sounds like Mr. Rogers, man, but if we would all just be kind to each other and treat each other with a little respect, it seems like a simple thing to do, don't it? Yeah, I think it is a simple thing to do. Let's try to do that. Not all people deserve respect, though. If they don't deserve it, don't give it. You tell them what you need to tell them, you know what I'm saying? All right. That was kind of a, what was that? I don't know what to say there. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but I think you get where I'm coming from, okay? You guys be cool. We'll see you out there somewhere. Worth Guitars. Peace. Peace. Worth Guitars. Bye now.